BA's in the building, as consultant. I think Todd and Jason will get it done. It's like, all right, that sounds like that's what's going to be happening, right?
That division, it feels like any year you could argue that any of the teams is by far the favorite to win it.
But what I'm saying is they're not making any changes.
No.
That's what it sounds like right
Oh, yeah. I mean, Shefty kind of said that yesterday, too. But, things could change.
Shefty living in his fears in this moment is certainly wild. Him getting a whole new narrative or perspective in a city, an entire city, just from one text message from, hey, actually snooping around. Kliff Kingsbury? Yeah, parting of ways. He's gone from Washington. Add Kliff Kingsbury's name potentially to a list of head coaching things. Well, did he get fired or did he leave? Well, him and Dan Quinn talked about the future, and they decided to part ways. I guess they disagreed. So now he'll pursue other opportunities. It's like, is he still getting paid by the Commanders and by the Cardinals? And then is he potentially going to be a head coach now all of a sudden? Because obviously what he was able to do with Jaden last year is certainly going to be a conversation that is going to be brought up during the whole interview process here with a lot of head coaching vacancies and not a lot of head coaching candidates. It's like, so did Dan Quinn tell Kliff, yeah, go be a head coach somewhere else? I don't like what you're thinking. Or did Kliff tell him, hey, I'm going to need more money because I'm going to go be a head coach? Or did they actually talk ball and Dan was like, I'm done with it. And then defense coordinator comes in, Dan's done with it. Yeah. I don't want anything. We need to not have whatever happened this year happen again. Fascinating development.
Can you put that tweet up? I'm sorry. Can you read it? Like how that tweet is worded? Like he met with Kliff today to discuss the future of the offense after those conversations. So heading into those conversations, what was the thought? That's what I want to know. Like, what did you plan on into this meeting? Were you thinking like, hey, we're probably gonna part ways, or were you thinking everything's all good? And then after you talked, you said, see ya.
Yeah, it was Dan Quinn like he's gonna have to earn it in here, and then he didn't earn it, and then they decided to move on. Maybe Dan Quinn wanted a different direction. Kliff's like, I'm not going to do that if that's what you want to do. Because Coach Tomlin multiple times moved on from offense coordinators because he wanted a different style of football to be played. Yeah. And I think multiple times, he's not the only one. There's been other teams that have done this where the head coach would like a different style of football to be played. You can either do it that way or we'll find somebody to do that. Maybe that's what took place here. I'm not sure. But I think Kliff Kingsbury's name, I'm like, oh, people are going to want him to be a head coach for sure because of what BA literally just said. If you're an offensive guru, you're certainly going to get an interview and a sit-down. He's handsome. He speaks well. He has Jaden Daniels, who has one of the greatest rookie seasons of all time, now on his record that he can certainly sell. A lot of jobs open. It feels like Kliff might be a head coach next year.
It's crazy how shit changed so fast in the NFL, and I'm thinking what you're thinking as far as philosophy-wise on the offensive side of the ball. Hey, Kliff, maybe we should do more of this, and Kliff is kind of like, hey, this is how I do it. And coming off of that NFC championship run with a rookie quarterback, like that was crazy. They ran a ton of hurry-up, were super aggressive, went for it on fourth down a ton. I know Jayden got hurt a bunch with his running and his elusiveness, but that's a part of what makes him great. I don't know if this will be the right time for Kliff to hit the market as far as being a head coach with all the hot names that are out there on both.
Are there hot names?
Yeah, on both sides of the ball. The defensive guys, and we looking at the landscape of who's out there right now. Kubiak could be a name with that's out there leading Sam. But outside of that, I mean, Josh McDaniels, he's not going anywhere. Nope. Like the top offensive guys, like who are like the top
I don't know.
Names.
That's what I'm saying. Like right now,
six jobs. Yeah, we got 6 jobs available. Like
and then who knows if another one opens up after this weekend from whatever outcome. It's like, how many offensive names are out there? This might be the time for Kliff Kingsbury to get back in the game because last year, to your point about the NFC championship run, people were like, hey, Kliff's going to get back into head coaching. Yeah, I actually did it. I'm getting paid. I like Jaden. I like working with Jaden, actually. I like what Dan Quinn's doing here. Let's go ahead and stick it around, give it another run. And then if he doesn't get hired, this might be the old story of like, hey, when you're hot, these opportunities aren't going to come forever. But it feels like he's going to get a lot of interviews.
Yeah, definitely, especially with what you said. Like look at those teams at the top, like the Raiders, for instance. They're about to draft a young rookie quarterback, and he's had a ton of success, Kliff, with young quarterbacks. Like you can even go back to Kyler. Like they kind of built Kyler up a little bit. They went to the playoffs, and granted, you see how that ended up with Arizona, but Tennessee, the offensive guys are kind of older. You wonder if Stefanski wants to take a year off. You could definitely see that after living in Cleveland for that long. And then Big Mike, older guy. A lot of these teams do want those younger kind of, quarterback guru, offensive guru types. And I think Kliff would definitely fall into that category. Even Cleveland. Like you think Cleveland would give Kliff Kingsbury a look because they have multiple young quarterbacks. And
does Kliff want to go to Cleveland? That'll be a whole nother.
Absolutely not.
I doubt it.
There.
What's that?
Kliff Kingsbury is not going to Cleveland. I can tell you that much. If he
Cleveland Kliff.
If he gets another crack at a head coaching job, he will not be going to Cleveland. I believe he was a Pat's backup for a while, so I wonder.
He played with Tom.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of relationship he has with Brady. Because if you remember, it was a couple years ago. Remember, it was like a done deal that he was going to go to Las Vegas to be their OC, and then they like fudged something with they didn't want to give him an extra year that he wanted or something like that. So great. I mean, that's a different regime. So who knows there? But if you're Kliff, I mean, if you went to Vegas, I would think you would maybe more so want to go as maybe the OC. You go gangbusters with a guy like Mendoza, and then boom, after that, hey, I'm the hottest ticket in town.
Yeah, and to Debo's point about the defense, though, right now I believe Brian Flores is the quote-unquote favorites to land in Vegas. I think Flory reported over the weekend that the idea in Vegas right now would be a full-blown New England Patriots Brady reunion with B-Flow being the head coach, Brian Daboll being the OC, and then Daboll being another guy who's good with young rookie quarterbacks.
Daboll with a stogie out there in Vegas.
Yeah.
He's going to have pinstripe suits.
Yeah. Mark Davis.
Oh, my God. That'd be awesome out there. Yeah, just in my head, all of a sudden, Kliff has a real shot at getting a head coaching job.
The offensive guys would be Clint Kubiak, Seattle OC, Kliff, Stefanski, Big Mike,
Joe Brady,
Matt Nagy.
We'll see.
Yeah, TBD.
I think I'm probably leaving a couple out, but
But to your point, though, what if defensive guys win the day? Now, BA said that's BS, baby. And we in previous BS or no BS with BA, we asked him if a defense is going to be the thing that wins the title this year, and he goes, "That's BS, baby. Need a quarterback." So he's always going to think offensively. I think that is what BA does. But with how great all these defenses are, and if D'Amico's Houston Texans are able to go on a run strictly because of their dominance, McDonald's with their Seattle Seahawks strictly because of the dominance of the defense, it's like owners are very much monkey see, monkey do. I mean, they are.
Philadelphia. I mean, they
Copycat league.
had one of the best defenses last year. Obviously, Saquon had an unbelievable year, but they've kind of been a rotating cast at that offensive coordinator spot. But their defense, especially since Vic has come over there, has been great. But I think, I'm on board with what BA is saying because we know how important it is with developing quarterbacks. We've seen what Liam has done with Trevor. We've seen what Ben has done with Caleb. So, yeah, I can definitely see the monkey see, monkey do part of that. But, I mean, you have to look at it. Every organization has to look at, hey, how do you want to build this team? Which guy can really come in here and lead this franchise, whether it's a Vrabel or Dan Campbell or Sirianni or D'Amico Ryans, whoever that guy is that you think is Robert Saleh from 49ers, whoever that guy that you have the most faith to stand in front of the room and lead you to kind of that next chapter, that's where you go, whether it's offensive, defensive, or like a special teams guy.
I like that that's being considered seemingly more by everybody. Like, hey, you need an actual, coach. Like you need like a leader in there, not just a play caller, a play because there for a while after McVay, who actual leader, by the way. McVay, I'm not saying that he's not an actual leader. Sean McVay, great leader, great speaker, feels like everybody respects the hell out of him, has made tough decisions, has had hard conversations. He's not just a play designer and play caller, but I think a lot of people are like, well, everybody could do that if they got the good place. And you got the good place. Why don't you come on in here? It's like leading a team and having like an alpha trait that you have to have while also having empathy and being able to relatable while your resume has to be able to hit. That's all a part of being a great coach. And I think a lot of that got forgotten about whenever there was a hiring cycle or two or three after Sean McVay had success where it was like, who could call best play? Fans like offense? We're going to give it to him. We're bringing in a super genius. It's like, well, what about like leading a team though? Like that is certainly a conversation that was kind of lost. And then MCDC gets a gig.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Vrabel starts gnawing on glass basically up there. And then you start seeing Sirianni. His little entire thing is his leadership style. Different than everybody else. Seems like he's got the boys rallied behind him. It's like, wait a minute, maybe you do need somebody that can lead an organization at the head coaching job while also being able to do the football side of it.
Yeah, Zach Taylor. I don't know if we consider him in that, entire.
We do, yeah.
Yeah, okay, we do. KOC really was the one that flipped that for McVay. Like KOC went in former player after his entire Rams stint, and he made the Vikings what it is, and then he had to make a bunch of tough decisions with Kirk and some other guys. And Brandon Staley, I think, comes to mind for me as far as like, oh yeah, that was a bunch of shit when it came to McVay's entire coaching tree. But there isn't a Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn. like at all, not even remotely close this year like there was last year. Like last year going into this entire week, it was like, who's going to get the bell of the ball? The two bells of the ball, really, because Aaron Glenn was considered the number one, defensive guy, and Ben Johnson was the number one offensive guy, but it worked. And now this year, there isn't that. So Kliff Kingsbury kind of stepping into that, hey, don't forget, look
Also,
at me.
second time.
Yeah, second time. Yeah,
how much he learns.
What's he learned? Yeah.
What we watched at Arizona since he's been. They've already fired another coach.
Yeah,
and they already got some. That whole situation. They might be the Cleveland of the West, and I don't like that.
Did you see the stat?
Huh?
The entire history of the Arizona Cardinals. I think it's like 100 years.
Yeah,
they've never had a coach be there for more than 6 years.
Yeah, there was another stat that came out about the Cardinals that was just so horrendous.
Denny Green.
Our quarterback win.
They can win like 17. They can go 17-0 for like 10 straight years, and their entire franchise's win percentage would still be under 500. That's the one that's coming to my mind.
That was one of the stats. There was like most double-digit losses in the history, or something like that. It was way the graph was just like way this way, and then there's every other team, and it's like, have we not talked about how the Cardinals have been absolute shite, and how their fans in that city.
That's why.
It's a beautiful city.
That's why we don't talk about it, because the city is so freaking awesome.
And the people are like, that city is awesome.
That might UCLA be in college football.
Go ahead.
Beautiful place, unbelievable campus, unbelievable spot. Like they should absolutely be able to win, and they just don't for some reason.
Phoenix, after Indianapolis, Indiana, obviously, might be best city in the United States of America. Like
Nashville.
After India.
Oh, Nashville.
Miami.
They stink too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe that's why. City's too nice. Football team.
Just like we talk about with Miami.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, all three. All three of those places.
Too much going on.
City's too good. City's too good. Can't focus on ball. How could you? Fucking Phoenix.
Yeah, all these
that's
golf
what they
courses
say.
out here.
Oh, weather.
Mountains.
With a view. Oh, there's a 5-star restaurant. Here's a 5-star restaurant. There's a 5-star restaurant. Relatively affordable. And also anything you want to do, a good time is here.
Yeah. I don't want to go practice there.
Oh, I'm going to be late. I'm going to drive 150 miles an hour.
Bingo.
That happens.
Yes, it did.
Because they're living life too much out there.
You're not Tyreek Hill.
Maybe Phoenix being too awesome is the problem.
That's also why you think they would be able to attract like a top line head coach, a bunch of good players in free agency, because it is awesome out there.
What's Miami doing? What's playing down there? What do you guys got cooking down there in the Dolphins?
Safe.
Nobody really knows by the sounds of things. McDaniel said he was helping in the GM search, and Barry Jackson reported that McDaniel actually isn't safe. So I think once we get the GM will make the decision on what the hell's happening.
Who's the GM potential possibility? Who's the name we know?
John Eric Sullivan of the Packers, I believe, is having an interview today. I think they're interviewing maybe like 6 people via Zoom today.
Okay, so from our understanding, we don't know a lot of people telling us things about front office people around the NFL. Would be open to it. Wouldn't mind getting more info on the people that we don't know about in the league, which would be cool. These people are kind of like under the guise of watching film and on the road behind the scenes to kind of build, a roster. That's normally who's getting the general manager jobs. Are they leaders too? I think that's something you certainly have to look at. But allegedly, out of the Packers organization, this John Eric Sullivan guy is a guy. AJ, you know him, I think, from your time in Green Bay?
He's been there a long time. He is a dude. Like I think if I didn't believe that, I just wouldn't say much about him. But yeah, I think he's absolutely a guy.